You want healthy, glowing skin, but with all the products, trends, and conflicting advice, it's hard to know what actually works. I understand. I am Dr. Tina Meder, a former cardiologist and specialist in the skincare development and cosmetic safety expert. I've spent years studying the science of skin. Welcome to Meder Beauty podcast, where we uncover what really matters, break down the science, and give you real expert-backed skincare advice. Whether you're looking to achieve radiant, healthy skin, curious about anti-aging, or want to understand what's really in your product, you are in the right place. Rooted in science and the truth about what your skin actually needs, we'll have in-depth conversations with leading dermatologists, medical experts, and skincare brand founders to bring you the latest innovations, evidence-based insights, and industry secrets that truly make a difference. We are so happy you are here. So let's go. Hello, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me for the conversation today. I am happy to present you Sarah Drew, medical licensed esthetician from Miami, Florida. And thanks again for joining me in our discussion about how the beauty industry, fearmongering, and sell fear to people.
Thank you for having me. I am honored to have such a big conversation because I realize it's a big conversation. And while we have the conversation, I want to say that there may be things that we don't even get to touch on, because how can we discuss all of the ways that our industry finds a way to scare people into our arms and onto our tables? But yes, this is a big one, and it's really important that we discuss it. Down to when I started my career as a professional, I was on the sales floor and the retail space. So most of my training was through marketing. So of course, this is where we do this. We scare people into thinking that if they don't start using creams, they'll be wrinkled or dissatisfied with the way that their appearance is in the mirror. And it always comes down to us projecting almost what we see on their skin and what we see happening versus what's actually bothering them. And I remember when natural and organic ingredients became more popular, this is my intro into, hey, I think I really like skincare, because I would have clients that wouldn't even entertain me, would immediately turn the box around, and all of a sudden they were chemists and they understood chemistry as if they had gone to school for it for years, and told me, nope, I cannot buy that. It has mineral oil, and I have heard that mineral oil is terrible for my skin. So this is the birth of where did we go wrong in giving them this information, and how much of it is true, how much of it is obviously false, and where is the balance in moderation?
And after 30 years in our beautiful beauty industry, I heard so many times and fear sells. And actually, it is true, but I still believe we should not use fear as a sales trigger and as a sales driver in the first place. And me personally, when I hear words like, if you don't, I know what happens, because it's how all this fear-mongering conversation started. And actually, it's created a lot of buzz, especially in the last years, about these terrible chemical ingredients. And what is funny for me, then most of the time, children in school, they don't like chemistry. I don't know if you have the same experience. Did someone amongst your classmates really like chemistry?
To be completely honest, I am the kid who was in the AP chemistry class. Thank you, Mr. Mabry. You were incredible. But of course I was unique. And it's a very complex subject. How can you expect kids to get that at a young age? Especially Mr. Mabry had a fun way of making it approachable and understandable to us as teens.
That's the most important thing.
Most important thing. And so that just goes to speak. People didn't get into chemistry when it came to skincare because they had an interest, but because now they felt there was a need that they had to protect themselves. It's like, I have to understand the ingredients in my skincare because I know if I don't, I'm harming myself, I'm causing cancer. It's a horrible way to go about being introduced to this line of work, in my opinion.
A lot of things they start in the school, and you're so lucky to have this great chemistry teacher. And many people, they never met someone who can explain how exciting and amazing and interesting is the chemistry. Absolutely. And how chemistry helped us to live longer. Because, and actually chemistry is absolutely natural. Honestly. Everything around us is at some point chemical, including biological objects, yes. Because there are a lot of biochemical processes in our body, absolutely. Or even stones. That's a chemistry, even yes. Diamond. It is a crystal, but still some chemical process you need to create it. And chemistry should not be the frightening word, but it happened already and people don't understand the chemical process. So everything is frightening. I heard so many times, if you cannot pronounce the name of ingredients, you shouldn't apply it on your face.
I'd hate to tell you how many times I will stumble over oligosaccharides.
Yeah. Could you pronounce desoxyribonucleic acid easily? It's DNA.
Can you spell it even? No.
It's even hydrogen oxide. Means water.
I'm telling you.
Everything has a chemical name.
Everything.
And chemical names are complicated. Thank ancient Greek and all scientists from the previous generations. So the name of ingredient, nothing about the potential danger of ingredients. It can be very easy sounding ingredients, which can be potentially damaging. For example, retinol. Easy to say. And when you apply 1% of retinol-based solution on your skin, in a few days, you can be so red and irritated, despite the name. And at the same time, some kind of, for example, madecassoside, which is apparently dangerous, long chemical name, is an active molecule of centellized article, which will calm your skin efficiently, and you can benefit from it. So I will not say that you should know how to read the label. And organic skincare doesn't mean that it will be perfectly safe for your skin, as well as the chemical names on your product label don't mean that it can be harmful for your skin. Because we have 30,070 ingredients registered for cosmetic use in the skincare, and all of them standardized name. And actually standardization of the cosmetic label, it's present process. Even not all countries over the world join this effort, so sometimes some ingredients are not standardized. What does it mean, standardized ingredients? The quality of ingredient will be the same in all manufacturing facility. So you can buy glycerin in States, France, or India. It will be the same glycerin, and it is very important.
As we talk about ingredients, I remember something you mentioned to me. So you just mentioned it, retinol. You have this ingredient that I have heard, I wouldn't go as far as to saying the word demonize, but as far as fear-mongering goes in my role as an esthetician, I was terrified of using retinol for the way it thins the skin, causes so much sensitivity without understanding what retinol was actually doing on the surface of the skin, hence why it was doing these things. And I think that's our purpose here, is to educate and ensure that we're not misinformed on what these procedures, ingredients, and processes look like. But it's just interesting because I remember you saying when you started your career, there were something like, 300 to 400 ingredients that we were all discussing. And now you said, there's 30,000?
Yeah, so it's a kind of multiplication in ingredients. They're multiplying every few weeks. They have more and more of them. And actually, retinol, it's a great example because we have fear-mongering going on both sides. Because first part of fears created around retinol by the beauty industry, then if you don't start to use retinol in your young age, you will be wrinkled and you're 40. Your skin will not resist itself. Your skin needs retinol. Without retinol, you are finished. You are prematurely aged. Everyone will think that you are in retreat for years.
I remember when they used to say there is no other ingredient that is clinically proven to get the result that retinol can get. This is the only ingredient that will reverse the signs of aging.
Actually, it's not. Even I know where it's coming because it's the opening quotes of the great article about cosmeceuticals by Albert Klingman. And it's a classic. It's a classic of cosmetic chemistry and dermatology, and there are a few rules of cosmeceuticals. And retinol is one of the good examples of it, because what you should know about the ingredient to be able to call it cosmeceutical. First of all, understand the chemical structure of ingredient, what is true about the retinol, understand the mechanism of action of this ingredient, and yes, we know how it interacts with different skin cells and different structures in the skin, have some research and objective proof and some predictability about it. So all questions are answered yes. But exactly in the same time, even Klingman, he used retinol as an example alongside with niacinamide. Has the same scientific base, as well as resveratrol. And this rule was applied to literally, if not all, new ingredients coming on the market in the last 20 years.
Right.
But to main part of it, we understand how works green tea extract. We know the name of chemical substances in the green tea. And okay, green tea sounds nice, right?
Sure.
But already the scientific name of the green tea plants, do you know how it calls? It's not green tea.
No.
It's Camellia sinensis.
Yes.
So you see Camellia sinensis, you have no idea that it is green tea behind it. And the active substances of the green tea, one of them, the most popular one now, epigallocatechin. So much for the simple name.
Yes.
Still green tea. And we know how epigallocatechin interact with the skin. As well as we know this about retinol. So it is a great cosmeceutical ingredient.
Yes.
It has rejuvenating properties.
Yes.
We understand how it can boost collagen synthesis or speed up the skin renewal. But in the same time, it's good to understand, do you need it
Right.
or not? And start to use intense solution based on the retinol in your mid-20s or even in early 30s. You should ask yourself, do you need to speed up the skin renewal when I am 30?
No.
Probably not, because your skin renewal is still perfect.
Yes.
About 28 days for the epidermis. Do you need to boost collagen production in your skin in your early 30s? No, because it was at maximum in 25, 27 years. The half-life of the collagen is about 15 years. So everything you synthesized in your 25 will be with you until you're 50. Our main idea is to not produce more of collagen.
Right.
Our main goal is to not degrade this collagen in the skin.
Yes.
And also, it's very useful to remember then retinol, it is bioidentical substance. It is very good, but what does it mean bioidentical?
Right.
Bioidentical means that you have this in your body.
Yes.
Retinol, retinoic acid, is circulating over your body and in high concentration when you are young. So if you don't start to use retinol-based solution in your late 20s, what happens?
Nothing.
Because you still have retinol circulating in your body, so very probably you should not apply it. There are some situations when you need it.
Yes.
For example, severe acne treatment, we use retinol very successfully. There are alternatives. We can treat acne in many ways. Retinol-based therapy is one of them.
Yes.
It is in international guideline. Or some dermatitis and even some pre-cancer skin condition are treated successfully by topical retinol-based solution. But it doesn't mean that you will not stay young if you don't use retinol. But another way for fearmongering in the retinol, used by the company who don't use retinol. And actually, we don't use retinol in Medar, but I am trying so hard to not make people afraid of retinol and trying always to explain then why we don't use retinol in the first place.
Sure.
Because our principle, then every product should be pregnancy safe.
Yes.
And retinol, it is not, so we don't use it. And also, we use a lot of alternative to retinol. It's our concept. But I will never say that it will kill you. If you use retinol, you intoxicate yourself. It can be dangerous for you.
Right.
Yes, at some point, it can, but it's, extreme situation. But some company, and I see it more and more, they're speaking, oh no, you should use only our herbal solution, and retinol is killing.
I'm telling you, the thinning of the skin is the one that drives me the most insane.
Yeah, so it's funny, it's the same substance. But fear-mongering works in both ways. If you don't, if you do, and both time, it's used to sell it,
Yes.
to sell something.
Yes.
Retinol or anti-retinol. And it's literally, emotionally, it is the same thing. And I don't think it is ethical.
And for the consumer that's trying to figure out, okay, hear you. Yes, we understand that fear mongering is used in order for me to consume. So what do I do then? It sounds, to your point, it's not about the line for Medar is pregnancy safe. This is the focus. This is a core value. But also you explained so beautifully that retinol was one of the original ingredients that you obviously heard of when there were 300 to 400. And now again.
For many years, it was the gold standard for so many things. It just, the landscape of the industry is changing because the science is progressing. It doesn't mean retinol worst.
Yes.
It just gives us other options.
It's a block to build on. It's something to say, like, this got us to here. And now with that science, we have found so many other alternatives. There is no right or wrong there. It's just a matter of we evolve.
It's to say then you should not drink milk because we have eggs. It's a question of your preferences and what your body needs.
Yes.
That's it.
Absolutely. Well, and another one I think that's really big is, of course, chemical sunscreens.
Oh, chemical sunscreens. Yeah.
Down to there are certain brands that will put marketing, and there are certain states that have created legislation that say if these specific chemicals are in the sunscreen, you need to put the sticker on it about how it's interfering with hormones. It's just so much information, down to even doctors online saying that sunscreens can cause cancer due to you not absorbing vitamin D properly. It is so confusing to a consumer.
Actually, it's a lot of fearmongering around sun protection altogether, because it can be the case when if you don't apply sunscreen 24/7, you will die. And you're not.
No.
You are resilient. And our body, we are all born from generation and generation of people who's been born, raised, and lived all their life on the planet Earth. So they've had some dosage of sun radiation. Even before sunscreens, it doesn't mean that people didn't protect themselves from the sun. People weren't stupid. When you feel pain, when you're burned, you will protect yourself. Didn't have skincare solution. So they use clothes. And if you see some medieval painting, if you see some different, if you read some books and you know from the history, then people wear clothes not only to look beautiful, but also to protect themselves.
Absolutely.
From the sun, from the rain, from the cold, and from the heat.
Absolutely.
So it worked. Now, when we have this sun care and we have enough of free time to be exposed to sun for pleasure, which wasn't the case even 100 years ago, because people worked much more. So now we create a story behind it, but actually we have some level of natural protection. It is not enough to protect your skin during the midday time in Florida. Nothing is enough. And if you can stay indoors, you should stay indoors, because the sun can be so intense. There are so many factors about the sun. But in the same time, there's no need to apply sunscreen at nighttime. There's no need. I'm sorry to say it. I know now it will sound like a breakthrough. No need to use sunscreen during the winter in Sweden. We have no ultraviolet in Scandinavia during the winter time. I'm sorry to say it. It's a sad truth. We are suffering from the vitamin D deficiency during the winter time because only ultraviolet triggers the production of the vitamin D in the skin. So we are in higher danger, in the higher latitude, to develop vitamin D deficiency, then develop sunburn in February in Stockholm. And I don't know why people started to ignore it. So it's one part of the fear-mongering. And also fear sells, because that's how industry make you buy sunscreen in February in Stockholm when you're not planning to travel. But another part of it, then sunscreen can be dangerous. So healthier will be do not use sunscreen at all.
Right.
Because if you apply sunscreen once, oh my God, you had cancer. Once again, everything you do apparently will kill you. It's like Nietzsche said, anything will not kill you, make you stronger.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And actually, it is not true as well, because now when we have sunscreen, it's really great to have an opportunity to use them. So just it should be used smartly. And yes, there been some mistake because science progresses in mistakes. It's impossible to create something ideal in the first place. Actually, the first sunscreens, they've been developed in about the period of the Second World War time. Before they didn't exist. And the very first sunscreen developed by the French laboratory, Bisbuin, which exists until these days and produces really great sunscreens. It was a sunscreen with a level of protection 2. Yeah, because now SPF 2, we don't see as a protective product, right? But it was the very first protective product, which helped people. It was sell in the mountain, and people noticed, and it helps them to have less of sunburn on their face. And after the first probably mass-consumed sunscreen was developed in the United States of America for military forces during the Vietnam War. Because the military forces, the soldiers, been exposed to the very intense sun from the sunburn, and they've been really nasty sunburn, sometimes leading to necrosis. And they've been developed some military sunscreen, which called red cream, because it was based on some red pigment, and it protected soldiers from the sun. In the same time, it was sensitizing and so comedogenic, and many of soldiers, they developed very severe acne and been scarred after. And yes, it was another well-intentioned mistake. And that's how all our sunscreen chemistry, sunscreen production was developed. So sunscreen are progressing every year. And the problem which we have with chemical sunscreens now, especially now in America, then regulation, it's not updated enough because all these chemical filters like avobenzone, oxybenzone, which are used in America, and there are like 12 chemical filters registered to be used in sunscreen by FDA. You physically, you cannot use anything else. And the last sunscreen filter registered by FDAs, I think it happened about 30 years ago. In the last 30 years, the cosmetic chemistry progressed a lot. And now we have new, much better chemical filters. Avobenzone and oxybenzone, they're still good. They absorb ultraviolet energy because how it works. The chemical substance can absorb the energy of the ultraviolet rays and release it as a harmless heat in the extracellular matrix and the tissue around these filters. So this heat doesn't damage DNA of cells. It's not damaging melanocytes, pigment cells. It's not create the danger of the pigmentation. But we have two types of the ultraviolet. Ultraviolet type B and ultraviolet type A. Ultraviolet type B penetrating in the epidermis. At the same time, it is stronger. And it's a first danger for the cancer development, pigmentation. Ultraviolet type A penetrates deeper into the dermis. It's a little bit milder, but still dangerous, breaking collagen, breaking elastin, and it's create tanning, and also can trigger the cancer in the skin cells. So we should do both. And some chemical filters, they're absorbing only the ultraviolet type A. Some chemical filters, they're absorbing only ultraviolet type B. What is a common thing between chemical filters? Once they absorb this energy, they're transformed by this energy because they're not stable. Only mineral can absorb energy without being transferred by this energy. So these chemical filters, they become themselves free radicals.
I was just going to ask, is it correct that most people, if they have a sensitivity to these chemical filters and screens, it's the sensitivity to the reaction happening in the skin?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the time, they are not sensitive to the avobenzone itself. They're sensitive to the byproduct of the avobenzone oxidized by the ultraviolet. Also, it can interact with some skincare. Same thing called retinol. It can be excited by the ultraviolet and it can damage the sunscreen protection in the same time. But the main danger why we are worried about these chemical filters right now, because there are some proof that in some situation when the skin is highly permeable, they can be absorbed and go to the bloodstream and start circulate around our body. And as they are not bioidentical, there are chemical substances circulating in our body potentially then can harm other tissues and other organs. It depends on if it is absorbed. When chemical filters, they are tested, they are not absorbed so much, but they are tested on the healthy skin and sunscreen. They are tested on the back skin of healthy volunteers. Most of the cases, they are male. Their skin is thicker. Skin on the back is much thicker than the skin on the face. Child skin is thinner, more permeable than skin of adult. So there are many factors around it. So in some situation, apparently it can be absorbed. It starts to circulate around our body. Do we know what they do to other organs? Not very much. and we don't have any scientific proof it is cancerogenic.
Okay.
That's no proof of it. And many of research have been published about it. Yes, they raise these worrying questions.
Yes.
And it is a good thing.
Yeah.
We should discuss it.
Yeah.
We should not keep silent about it because everything can be dangerous. Look, some scandal in the pharmaceutical industry. They're awful.
Yeah.
But in the same time, we should be reasonable. We should understand better the situation.
Right.
That's why they're not banned immediately. Not because then someone would like to kill all people on the planet Earth. That's not some Marvel universe.
Right.
Yeah, so apparently there are no villain brain behind it. But we don't understand perfectly the condition which can trigger some potential danger.
Yeah.
We don't understand how it really does to your body, but what we understand, then prolonged or excessive exposure to the ultraviolet, it is the real danger. It can provoke the cancer.
Absolutely.
We see the rise of melanoma cases all over the world. We have the absolute scientific proof, then ultraviolet is behind it.
Yes.
It's not only the correlation. We understand the mechanism of action, how DNA is damaged. So the skin should be protected. If you don't feel comfortable about applying the chemical filters, for example, me, honestly, I've had my course of pediatry during my university years, about 1,000 of years. I know the skin of young children, of newborns, it's much more permeable than skin of adult. So everything you apply on the skin of young children will be absorbed much more efficiently. So no, I don't feel comfortable applying the sunscreen based on chemical filters, especially on the old chemical filters like oxybenzone and avobenzone on the skin of young children. But I don't feel comfortable exposing young children or newborn to the ultraviolet during the midday.
Right.
I'm sorry. I never did it. I am a doctor.
Absolutely.
So it's better do not
Yeah.
go with children on the beach during the day than starting to apply some organic oil in the hope then it will help. So be reasonable.
Yes.
I will say for children's skin protection, it's always better to use clothes.
Okay.
Also, it's less dangerous
Yes.
because anyone who trying to catch 3-year-old child in the sea after applying the sunscreen, all I can say, good luck.
Yeah, they're safe. They're going to slip right between your fingertips.
Absolutely, immediately. And it is dangerous.
Yeah.
So use the clothes. There are a lot of rash guards, there are a lot of ultraviolet protecting clothes, very comfortable.
Truly.
Also, stay in shadow.
Yeah.
Be reasonable about your behavior because behavior helps more.
Yeah.
And if your skin is sensitive, if your skin is dry or too oily or damaged, or you've got some laser resurfacing or chemical peels, okay, use the specific post-care sunscreens designed for sensitive skin, rosacea, acne. Most of them, they're oil-free and based on mineral filters, which I just hope that you are not afraid of mineral filters. Titanium and zinc, they're pretty much safe. They're never absorbed by the body. Nano size of titanium and zincs, now it's well studied. It's used much less and much more responsibly.
Okay.
So we should think about it. And all this fearmongering leading to the lack of sunscreen use can lead to the increase of cancer cases.
It's truly terrifying because if we think of how much change people want to see in their skin, they're using so many more active ingredients or they're doing so much more to their skin, whether it's devices or whatever. So to think they're unafraid to go under a laser, but terrified of putting on a sunscreen, there's a disconnect.
Yeah, it's absurd. But human beings, they're not famous for being logical or specifically smart. And you should not be super educated.
No.
To be safe. That's the whole meaning of the regulation. Then some people who has a specific professional education, they do some regulation rules or keep other people safe enough. Yes, it is a problem that's not all the time administration works perfectly well. But speaking about the sunscreen, situation is tricky in many points. We know that sunscreen helps. Another word about sunscreen. And for me, the danger of sunscreen is that I never heard a real public discussion about it. Then sunscreen creates a dangerous illusion. Because before we started to use sunscreens massively, people knew that sun rays are harmful for their body. And if they not be people in the countryside working outdoors, and anyway, they put hat, they put clothes, and they didn't stay on the sunbed during the midday. Now, when we have a sunscreen, and sometimes, oh my God, I see people on the beach smoking, drinking, and staying out of the shadow when the index of the ultraviolet is absolutely extreme. And yes, they are reapplying sunscreen every hour. And apparently they feel safe, but they are not safe. No. They are in high risk developing skin cancer, premature aging, and all the other conditions linked to the ultraviolet skin damage, despite they use sunscreen.
Right.
Even if they're using good and safe sunscreen, because sunscreen never gives you 100% of protection, even 50 plus. Sunscreen is still about 1% of ultraviolet penetrating into your skin deeply. And this 1%, when the ultraviolet is intense, it can be enough.
Wow.
So I always suggest, and okay, if you don't feel comfortable about sunscreen, anyway, your sun protection should be more global, more complex. And you can find some skincare product and just change your behavior. If you don't want to apply sunscreen, okay, don't go out in the period of the day when the sun is intense. It's not about chemistry. It's about logic, common sense.
I could never argue with them. If that was their personal opinion and their personal choice, it was more about, okay, then let's get you loaded up with antioxidants. Let's make sure you're aware of what the UV index is. Like, there was no need for me to scare her into thinking, you're going to undo or reverse everything that we've done if you don't wear sunscreen. It was just a matter of, if that's your personal choice, these are the ways that I need to prepare you for what you may see in your skin, because it's inevitable.
Me personally, when I'm working out at 6 or 7 a.m. on the beach, I don't wear sunscreen. The index of, oh yes, I dare. Yes, I dare. Because the index of the ultraviolet is very low. I spend 40 minutes, maybe 1 hour outdoors, and that's fine.
Yes.
It is not damaging. But what really irritates me, I should speak about it openly. Oh my God, I know I should be the better person. But when I receive all this email asking me, not very politely, why you are using glycerin in your formulation? And I'm like, what should I use? Luxurin?
Right.
Organicoline? Naturaline? Glycerin can be perfectly natural. It's derived from vegetables. It's not always synthesized. Why you people are afraid of glycerin? Once I received the email when literally the woman blamed me in the epidemic of hepatitis around the world because, just watch me, glycerol, it is alcohol, chemical it is.
Yes.
Alcohol damages the liver.
Yes, okay.
And me personally, and another brand founder and cosmetic chemist, make people to use alcohol in their skincare. It damages their livers. That's why so much hepatitis around the world.
Could only be.
And it's so many. Literally, I receive emails, probably if not every week, but at least few times a month, asking me why I'm using this or that, and it's always about some chemical name in substances.
Yes.
And actually, I have an explanation about all kinds of functional ingredients, because most of the time, they're asking about functional ingredients, like emulsifier, or something making the product texture more pleasant, which we are using in very low concentration. Right. It's most of the time, most of functional ingredients, they used in the concentration less than 0.01%. That's why they are in the last place in the cosmetic label. Yes. But people are still afraid of them, and they are looking for products when they don't see any chemical names. And actually, the products without chemical names, most of them, they have very short shelf life because it's very difficult to keep them preserved. I
was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. And also essential oils. They are great natural preservatives because they have antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties. So if you add essential oil, many of them, in relatively high concentration in your product, it will be well preserved. But essential oils, they're known to be allergens. They are known to be irritating for the skin, and they are known to be photosensitizing because each essential oil, it's not like one nice substance called mint or rosemary. Most of essential oils, it is a blend of at least 100 of chemical substances. Most of them, they have very low molecular size. They're small molecules. That's why we have this aroma, because they can penetrate into your nose and contact your brain. That's how we feel aroma.
Wow.
We don't feel aroma because it just touches your skin. It penetrates into your brain.
Wow.
That's why perfumes make you feel better.
Yes, of course.
Because it interacts with your brain.
Yes. That makes
And
complete sense. But what
does it make you feel safe when I speak about it?
Absolutely not. I think of my client who burned her face with oregano oil as you speak.
Oh my God,
It
I
makes
remember this
so
picture.
much sense.
It was oregano, right?
Oregano oil, yes. And guess what she did? She did her research because, again, being fear-mongered out of using so many different acids or different products prior to her meeting me and working with Metter, it's like, I have to do my own research. It says oregano oil is anti-inflammatory. I put it on my skin. I cause a chemical burn. Couldn't have foreseen that. It's that piece that I'm most passionate about, is getting the client to take off the hat of feeling like they need to be their skin expert. They need to be their therapist. They need to be their biggest cheerleader. It's take off all of these hats and trust the professional that you connect with.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of misinformation that we are putting out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously not everyone is lucky enough to have an opportunity to be friends
Right.
with some great skin professionals.
Truly.
But also it is still possible to find someone reasonable and well-educated in this area, practicing as a skin practitioners or being a cosmetic chemists themselves, being in the industry to have an advice. Probably the best advice I can give, then if you hear the phrase starting from if you don't, be aware.
I agree. I'd also say if they cannot give you a thorough enough explanation to say why they won't recommend something over something else, there is a likelihood that there's a lack of understanding, and that's okay. But there should never be a this or a that, just simply based off of producing fear alone. There needs to be some sort of background knowledge and understanding as to why you don't recommend this specific product.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially now there are a lot of these websites, purely fearmongering, speaking about some clean cosmetic. Clean beauty is such a large concept. No one really understands what's behind. And in every scientific conferences, we have this discussion because clean beauty is an empty word. What is the category of ingredients which respond all question about the clean beauty, which can be classified as the cleanest of all? Silicones.
Oh, you don't say.
They are absolutely clean.
Because you don't say. I would say that'd be the number one ingredient that someone will say, I don't want this, it has silicones.
But actually, silicones, they are ticking all squares for clean beauty.
Wow.
So it's just an empty word. And there are a lot of fear-mongering websites when you just put the label, you scan your
I just
etiquette.
was going to say, yes.
And it's really, it doesn't make any sense because without knowing the concentration, without understanding the meaning of ingredients, sometimes ingredients they are used in their concentration like 0.0000025 just to preserve another ingredients. So the homeopathic traces in the formulation, it doesn't affect you at all. And no website can give you an answer. And also my advice, if you see the classification of cosmetic ingredients based good and bad, go out.
Red flag.
Close the door.
Red flag.
Or non-toxic and toxic? No. We have now, I'm a cosmetic safety expert. I was invited to work on cases of severe allergic reaction and side effects followed the cosmetic use to be able to provide with an expertise if it is related to the cosmetic use or not. Most of the time it is. And most of the time it is contact dermatitis, which sounds harmless, but in fact it can be severe. And you can go to the hospital, you can be even in the reanimation with the queen edema using a cosmetic because allergic reaction can be severe. And that's how I started. I was very interested. I always loved chemistry, actually. My mother was a chemist. I always loved to be chemist myself. And I was really interested, so I started to research more and more. I started to work in the R&D of the laboratories, and having this experience of the cosmetic safety expertise, I noticed that very often it's related to products containing this or that ingredients. And that's the whole idea, because until now, it's a daily work of many experts around the world who are analyzing the labels and ingredients of products involved in the severe allergic reaction, contact dermatitis, and sometimes ingredients are banned, or their concentration is limited. Once again, retinol, always a good example. Since November of this year, in 25th, the concentration of retinol in skincare product will be limited, seriously, until 0.3% for facial skincare solution and until 0.05% for body care solution, because of many reasons. It what happens when we see proof of some potential damage or potential harm, the regulation works in this way. And I can say it's relatively fast. It takes years to get proof, to get material, to get all this research, just using this opportunity. If you develop some problem, if you develop allergic reactions, some contact dermatitis, please contact the provider of the skincare. If it happens with some professional solution, contact the clinic and give them the information. You should give them an information about the product you used. It's always good to have a photo before and after. Explain how it happened to you, because legally, all clinics or all retailer of the skincare, they should bring this information to the manufacturer. And manufacturer should keep it and should present it to the special organization working as a cosmetic safety. That's how we collect the information to understand. And now with all this opportunity of computing, when all this information come together and analyzed by the AI, we can see the coincidence, like in 90% of cases, that these ingredients, which is involved in the allergic reaction, and it can be banned. It can be limited in the concentration. So the work, some invisible experts, they are doing this work every day.
It's incredible.
So it's very important part, but in the same time, you should understand, and we have all these thousands of ingredients registered for cosmetic use. It's not like someone is coming with a nice flower and going like, okay, let's use my flower, my grandma loved it. No, each ingredient was tested. And now in the last probably 20 years, all ingredients are tested for systemic absorption. If it can be absorbed through the skin, if it can go to the bloodstream, they tested for potential genetic toxicity. So what it does to your DNA. Now we started to test massively how it affects the microbiome. So there are a lot of tests performed for each ingredient, and each ingredient have safety reports, which is in open access. So if you are worried about any kind of cosmetic ingredients, just Google the name of this ingredient, safety report. You will get PDF.
Incredible.
They're absolutely in open access, no one hide it.
It's incredible.
So you can see the all concentration, you can see all effects it's do for the cells and for the body. And it's no ingredient without safety reports. Actually, it was less safe previously because they've been first hundreds of ingredients registered for cosmetic use. Like I started my career in mid of 90s. They've been about 400, maybe 500 of cosmetic ingredients. Many of them, they've been used because of some empiric basis. They've been registered, but now we have all these tests and analyzes. So everything is tested and analyzed. Yes, sometimes we don't have some information because the products are applied on the skin hundreds of times during a year when it is part of your daily skincare routine. So some kind of cumulative effect can be less known. Also, another danger, which is not a fear-mongering danger, but it's some kind of the myth, and you should use best product of different brands.
Oh my God, you read my mind. I was hoping that we would get here because that's huge. I remember even the beginning of my career almost 15 years ago, forget it. I had clients who would say, Sarah, I know you're trying to sell me an entire line here, but I don't believe that one brand can do it all for me. I would like to choose the best of different brands.
Actually, just last week, we've been contacted by one clinic who wanted to represent our product, their product. And I went to their website and we will never recommend you to use products of one brand. We will choose the best pick for you. And I was like, oh my God, we will not work with our brand. We're still here. Why? Because no one is testing products of different brand to the cross-reaction. It's not like some secret meeting of people from Dior, Nivea and L'Oreal, just playing with products all around and testing how they work together. No one knows how they work together. That can be all types of cross-reaction between functional ingredients or active ingredients.
Absolutely.
When you are using the product of one brand, at least they are not conflicting on your skin.
Absolutely.
That's the least which we hope for. And when the brand is taking everything responsibly, products will create a synergy on your skin.
I couldn't agree more.
Add in products from another brand, and it can create the allergic reaction, not because it is allergenic or another product allergenic, just they interact with each other.
Yes.
And the cross-product, byproduct of this interaction can be allergenic. That's not a fearmongering, but that's another part of fearmongering. Like when someone recommends you to use products of one brand, and actually skin practitioners, very often they do it because they understand the danger of cross reactions. And it is someone who wants to just take your money and run with it. For me, it is a good sign. When it is someone who recommends you to try skincare routine based on the product from the same range, from the same brand, I think, okay, I hear profession.
Absolutely. And going to your piece about if you do have a reaction coming back to the practitioner, going back to the clinic, we have a better understanding of maybe how you've combined other things in your lifestyle to cause such a reaction, which you cannot. So I think a lot of the times people will immediately try something new, say that it caused a reaction and they no longer want to use it, but then they'll go spread that information of, oh no, that doesn't work. It caused me to do this. That's not fair. That's not going to be everyone's experience.
It should be investigated all the time because it will help you to understand what caused the reaction. The whole idea is not to create some bad emotions about it. Because no one wanted this reaction to happen.
No.
The salespeople in retail, skin practitioner, all they want, then you will be happy with this product and come again to buy it again. So it was really unwanted reaction. It's always better to understand how it happened, why it happened to you. Sometimes it's a cross-reaction with another product. Sometimes it's just misunderstanding or misuse of the product. By my experience, about 50%, it is a misuse. Which can be easily corrected. And also it gives the information, if it is somehow related to something potentially more allergenic or harmful, it can be stopped.
It's not simple, but it is really as simple as, we talk about this often, finding someone who can work well with you, who you mesh well with, who you can truly ask the questions and the concerns that you have, but has a thorough understanding of what concern you're coming to them for then.
I will say then, if you feel bad or guilty after speaking with skin practitioner, it's not a good sign. You should not feel guilty. You should feel free, ask questions. And you should have this understanding. You should have more of clear message.
You're almost empowered. I don't think that you ought to go out and now think that you have the understanding to recommend to all your friends in your circle around you. However, I would say you have at least a better understanding of what an authentic experience can feel like and look like in this industry. Be very realistic with yourself and know that you are more than likely going to get wrinkles. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the discussion. It was great. So if you listen to us and you have other fearmongering cases, let us know in the comments. Thank you for joining us today on the Matter Beauty podcast. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an expert skincare tip. Have a question or topic you'd like for me to cover? Send me a message at podcast@matterbeauty.com and let's keep the conversation going. Also, you can visit matterbeauty.com and discover Matter Skincare, which I created. And if you enjoyed the show, I'd love if you left a review. It helps others find the podcast and keeps us growing. Until next time, stay healthy, stay glowing, and take care of your skin.